Hello everyone, today we're talking about a very high damage build, which is the Poison SRS Necromancer. My build is based heavily on Balormage's build. Poison SRS is an outrageously powerful build with highly effective clear and easy boss kills.
With all the gods dead, I suppose I should turn my attention to you. We shall see how far you can be pushed.
Mostly the playstyle centers around casting SRS, which are your main damage source. Poison is added deeper into the endgame because the cost is quite high to get a large enough chance to poison. We start leveling with Freezing Pulse and Frost Bomb, and you can throw in a Holy Flame Totem with Summon Phantasm for good measure. For mobility, we will use Frostblink and Flame Dash. If we run out of space for gems, we can always take Frostblink out for a while. At level 8 we can buy Melee Splash support and build a 3-link with SRS, Melee Splash and Minion damage. Once we get to a 4-link, we can add melee physical damage into the mix. Early during leveling, we pick up increased duration in the skill tree and in Ascendancy to improve the time to live of our Raging Spirits. For auras, we can pick up Clarity in Act 1 for mana sustain. In Act 2, we get Summon Skitterbots to improve our damage. Finally in Act 3, we pick up Anger to further increase our damage. Act 2 is also where we'll start using Raise Zombie with Minion life. Then we'll add Feeding Frenzy and Combustions once we can turn this setup into a 4-link. In Act 4, however, we'll get Summon Stone Golem and move the Feeding Frenzy here to support it. Clarity is going to get dropped off once we spec into Eldritch Battery, as it obsoletes the need to use mana for casting. This will happen around level 60 or in the late 50s. Later on in the game, we will be able to have multiple auras: Haste, Envy, Determination, Vitality, and Tempest Shield. After completing the campaign, we swap Raise Zombie into Raise Spectre and Animate Guardian. We also swap Flame Dash out for Shield Charge. The setup for Raise Spectre and Animate Guardian can be a 4-link with Minion Life and Meat Shield, so they both get the benefit of the support gems. Even better if you can get a Divergent Animate Guardian. The best Spectres to use are the Pale Seraphim and Arena Master. You can get them by asking for help in Global 6666. Once you found someone, cast Desecrate in their hideout and hover over the corpses to target them. When you target a Pale Seraphim and Arena Master, cast Raise Spectre on them to summon them. After you've done this once, if you need to resummon them, you can cast Desecrate in your own hideout, and the corpses that appear will include Pale Seraphim and Arena Master. Because the Raging Spirits will take damage from AoE and projectiles, it's possible to run into map situations where your minions get wiped. Careful in this scenario, as you're going to need to quickly resummon them. Speaking of minions dying, one of the masteries we are going to pick up from Minion Defense is minions recover 5% of life on minion death. This will sustain your Animate Guardian because a Raging Spirit dying, expiring, or even being replaced all count as a death. Arcanist Brand setup requires that the gems are arranged in a specific order clockwise. The first gem should be Arcanist Brand at the top left, then Bone Offering next to the right, Despair in the bottom right, and finally Desecrate in the last node, which will be green. There's another setup that works as well if you have the green in the top right, which is what I'm using. In this case, you start with Arcanist Brand, then Desecrate, then Bone Offering, and finally Despair. Once you get a 6th link, the SRS setup will be as follows: SRS, elemental damage with attacks, minion damage, melee splash, unleash, and immolate. You only need one of the Melee Splash and Multi-Strike supports. We will use Melee Splash for most content and swap out to Multi-Strike when fighting large bosses like Exarch or maybe Zaro in higher labs. Severed in Sleep is a good weapon choice as it gives minions Wither chance and grants us level 25 Envy, which we can support with Generosity Gem. Darkness Enthroned Belt with a decent roll, 85% and above, is necessary to increase the effect of the Abyss Jewels you place in it. To get high enough poison chance, you need about 6 Abyss Jewels, each with minions have 13 to 15% chance to poison. 2 of these jewels will go in your belt, another 2 in a cluster jewel with slots for jewels, and the last 2 in jewel slots on the skill tree. Once you have spec'd into poison, you can take out Anger and the SRS setup will change to the following. SRS, Withering Touch or Void Manipulation, Minion Damage, Melee Splash, Unleash, and Unbound Ailment support. If you can afford it, get Awakened versions for Void Manipulation, Minion Damage, Unleash, and Unbound Ailments. This concludes the build overview. Hope you have found this helpful. For additional information, I have added in the description links to the detailed build on PoE Vault, as well as a couple of videos by Balormage that discuss various aspects of the build. That's all from me for today. Hope you're having fun gaming. Until next time.